Welcome to Dare, the show for startup leaders, innovators, and entrepreneurs who dare to shape the future. Dare is brought to you by the Oregon Entrepreneurs Network, OEN, and Darwoft, the superpower tech team that can make your vision a reality. The Dare Show is excited to welcome Stefano Laboni to the show. He's the founder of Smile Solution, and he has 20 years of experience using humor to foster creativity, connection, and well being. He works with a number of different companies, and I'm excited to get into some funny stuff with Stefano.
Yay, so happy to be here. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic to have you on the show. So, we met through the Oregon Entrepreneurs Network. And what brought you to OEN?
Oh, I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I'm always looking for new connection. I'm interested in people in general, and really amazed at like how big the group of entrepreneur here in Portland, Oregon is just huge, and it's fantastic to go and always like learn new things and listen to like new ideas. It's just really like fascinating to see how many people are like creating their own business.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us about your business, Smile Solution.
So my business, Smile Solution. I'm not a dentist because sometimes when I say Smile Solution, people say, "Oh, you're a dentist?" No, Smile because so the story is that I've been doing comedy for the past 20 years, plus 20 years. And my type of comedy is mainly nonverbal, so mainly visual. So I don't talk much. And I was
Uh-huh.
lucky enough to travel in many places around the world doing that. And I discovered something that was very interesting that, laughter, it's one of the first is the most direct way of communication between human beings, right? Even if
Mhm.
we don't speak the same language, even if we don't have the same background, if we laugh together, boom, there's instantaneous connection, right? We like
Absolutely.
become one. It's as human beings, it's very interesting. We first learn how to laugh before we learn how to speak. So
Right.
doing that for many, many years, I came to the realization that this doesn't just apply to like the performance world or like, the performing art. No, 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 this goes beyond because this is very helpful for businesses and people in business, right? It helps with what? With connection, creativity, bonding, and overall, it just like creates I don't know, a jollier place to be, a place to work.
So when you say non-visual, do you mean like things like clowning and mime? Or those are some classic visual, not verbal
Mhm.
ways of communicating humor, right?
Yeah, thank you for that question because interesting enough, when I moved to the United States 11 years ago, and people ask me, "What do you do?" And I used to say, "Oh, I'm a nouveau clown." And the association that, generally speaking, I would get was like, "Oh, you do birthday party balloons, right?" Or, "Oh, you do funny wigs and oversized shoes." And I'm like, "No, no, 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 oh, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
not that kind of stuff." So I started saying I'm visual comedian or physical comedian because I don't talk, but it's not. I don't that's a type of clown, let's say, okay? That's the stereotypical circus clown. So my thing is more theatrical. It's more a character based. Let's say something like Mr. Bean, say
Mhm.
something like that,
Yeah.
right? So it doesn't have whim. It's not a make. Has no. There is no makeup involved. No oversized shoes or funny clothes. It's just a character that it's funny, silly, it's different. That type of comedy. I'm kind of
Mhm.
like that. And I think we easily laugh at people like those type of characters because maybe we associate something about we can see something about ourselves in those characters. I mean, generally speaking, we laugh at things that we experience, right? Or we have been in that situation. So it's like, oh no, I know that. How does it feel to be embarrassed in front of a group of people? Oh, I know how it feels when, whatever situation. Then you
Right,
relate.
right. You identify with the situation Mr. Bean is
Yes,
going through. And
exactly.
just to circle back a little bit, I mean, the general population has this idea that a clown wears white makeup, rolls around at a circus, does silly things, but clowning as a deep function of human society is something that goes all the way back to the gestures. And learning how to clown appropriately is a full use of the body, right? It's not just this stereotypical like clown with the makeup. It's
Mhm.
the full physical representation of somebody. Like Mr. Bean is a classic clown in terms of he's classically trained in clowning, but clowning as a discipline, not the clown that we see as like in the book It by Stephen
Yes.
King, with the makeup and all. That the
Yeah.
makeup is just one way of doing clowning work, right?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you said it all. And basically, the main thing was like, that type of like white face clown makeup on, is the circus clown. So imagine
Mhm,
you are in front of a huge crowd, that is, I don't
mhm.
know, 2,000 people watching the show. You had to do things like that. You had to put makeup on. You had to
Yeah.
like do oversight thing to enable to be seen. So you can amplify your facial expression, or whatever it is that you do with your body. You had to do that. But then, in the 70s, that was translated by Lecoq into something that was more theatrical. So it's like, oh, let's play with the things that are within you, right? What is it that you already have that is funny about you? So it's like maybe the way you talk, maybe the way you walk, maybe there is something that you always do. I mean, maybe you always brush your hair when you say certain words and things. So let's amplify that and let's find the funny within you. That's kind of the thing that we all have that, right? We all have something. Some people are not aware of it, but we all within ourselves, there is something that it's funny, or there is comedy, let's say, that can emerge from any situation.
Right, right. So why laughter? And I'll ask you a leading question. Why is laughter important?
Well, many, many different reasons. One of the reasons is like it brings us together, it make us all human. It's something that we all share. We all know how to do it, generally speaking. We all know how to laugh. And it's, incredible for connection. It's incredible for bonding. And just like generally speaking, like when you laugh and if you allow yourself to laugh for real, you always feel better afterwards, right? It's kind
Mhm,
of like a laughter and crying are similar in that regard because you're present, you're in the moment, you're vulnerable, and there is nothing else that goes through your mind while you're doing it. It's like very like a simple
mhm.
form of meditation, right? You're
So
there.
being very present in the moment, like
Yes.
laughter brings you that presence.
Yes, and then
Okay.
neurologically, all other things that this is something that like I investigated later in life. Like, oh wow, this is very interesting, right? So also physiological and neurological, a lot of things happen. Neurologically, our brain produces this cocktail of hormones, right? Endorphin, serotonin, oxytocin, really like good stuff that help you relax, they help you connect, that helps create
Mhm.
trust and bonding between individuals, between people. Yeah. And then physiologic also like, you laugh, you're like expanding your lungs, more oxygen is going in and blood is flowing. So it's like doing some sort of physical exercise without going anywhere.
Right, right. And I just read something recently that couples who laugh together stay together. So is
Mm,
this true of work teams as well? Teams who
yes.
laugh together have a deeper bond, stay together?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the things I actually say. Teams that laugh together stay together because you create a deeper connection. You're able to like, if you laugh with somebody, same thing. Going back to the crying, if you're able to cry with somebody in front of somebody, or if you're able to laugh with somebody, well, first of all, you can find you discover like things that you might have in common. Maybe similar
Mhm.
sense of humor. Although humor and laughter they go together, but not necessarily the same thing. But yes, it's just because you get deeper in the connection. Yes, you stay together because you create a different level of bonding. And then also because you laugh, you relax, you're able to let go. So let's say in an environment, in a work environment where like people are, I'm not saying that like they're constantly laughing all day long, but you know what I mean, where
Mhm.
laughter it's accepted, or where there is no problem if people are laughing, or people and every now and then throw jokes, that creates an environment that is safe for different ideas. Let's say you're working on something that uncommon things, right? So
Right.
you can feel
Do you
safer.
feel do you feel that people who laugh are more creative?
Yes, but not necessarily. I mean, you laugh when you laugh. Actually, the two sides of the brain, the right side and the left side, connect. Right. So you laugh, and then you might come up with something that it's some ideas that you never like ever even cross your mind, or some you can put together something that maybe don't make any sense, but through that helps you develop a different mindset, a different way of seeing things, right? A
So
different way
so
of
it's kind of a
collaboration.
new right, kind of a new way of seeing the world if you're laughing.
Yes, and
Yeah.
and now also I help, and then also that works with teams because then you might have that the type of collaboration that you didn't see before, you didn't expect before, or you might take somebody that works in a department and somebody else that works in a different department. They don't know each other, they don't know exactly what they do, during the day, and then by creating an environment that is, where laughter is allowed, where there is joy, and happiness, that collaboration flows, and then different ideas flows. Somebody that's work in a department might have an idea for somebody else in a different department, and this person maybe had never realized about that.
Right. So we've talked a little bit about laughter, about clowning, about these different things that embody laughter or that laughter brings into the world. But I'm curious from a startup perspective or from a business perspective, how does your business function? Do you work with individuals or with businesses or how does that all work for you?
Generally speaking, I work with like teams and like businesses, by doing workshops, training, or team building. And the type of team building, it's my thing is really about, emotions, laughter, joy. How can we create that in a work environment? Individually,
Yeah.
I help folks to like develop like kind of like a humor attitude, more than like,
Mhm.
sometimes I think there's this misconcept that maybe in business, especially maybe in the corporate world, we are like serious. We are here to, we make money and, laugh. No, we don't have no time for this. This is serious business. And for me, this is like, well, actually, it's the opposite, right? If you allow more of that, everybody would be happier. People would be more creative, more productive, and yes, willing to take more risks. So yes, I work with teams, but I also work with like managers or, on one-on-one sessions or like, oh, how can I become I don't know, a funnier person, right? But not by, and this is not about, oh, how to turn into a comedian, how to write jokes. No, no, it's how about I can see things in a different way. And or how can
Mhm.
I communicate in a different way that allows laughter that helps connect with folks.
Right, right. So when you work with a business, do you come in and evaluate what you're working with first, or what's the kind of process? If I had a, so I know a number of people who have startups, people listen to this show, have companies large and small. If I was a business owner and I was engaging with you, what would that initial engagement look like?
Well, first of all, it would be something like this. We will have a conversation, possibly like a video conversation, a phone call. And then my ideal situation is like that I can come into your workplace, in your company, wherever you work, and I can have a day or half a day to observe. So I can just look. Can I just come in and look and see the dynamics, what the things that you do during the day, the relationship with the people. So I can study and I can kind of like create a personalized program for you to like help you with your team and also to like help maybe create gamify like turn things into games, right? Like
Right.
something that you do during the day that might maybe I think about sometimes meetings can be like, oh no, another meeting, oh gosh, why do we have to do meeting? How can we turn that into something that is more fun or gamify things that you do during the day? So my ideal situation is like, oh yes, I come in, we have a conversation, I address what is it specifically that you want to work on? What are your struggles here? Oh, I don't know. We're struggling with like, bonding connection because we have some new folks that's just joined us, or some people don't get along, or we have different departments. Sometimes it happen this that like, oh, I have a department here, but the other department they do something else, but they don't know each other. They work for the same company, but the company is so big they don't necessarily know each other. So how can we get those people to know each other? How can they
Yeah.
meet and possibly collaborate? So is that, or what is it that you're working on? Oh, we're working on creativity. We've been stuck in this project for a while. We don't know where to go. We feel like this is not going anywhere. Okay, let's work specifically in that. Let's create things and collaboration situation that can that can help creativity flow, right? Things like that. Or it could just simply be sometimes people just want to have, oh, we just have 1 hour, 2 hours where we want to have fun. Just like we have a retreat or we have a little party or something, or just a lunch meeting or something that like, we just have to shake the energy around a little bit. We feel like things are very serious. We just want to have something like that. So it really depends on what the client is looking for. And I like when there is time, I really like make it personal. Okay, this is for you. And I want to design something that is specific for you and for your company. And especially, I want to leave you with something that you can implement, tools and things that you can use during they can change things for you. You can change your work environment or whatever that is that you want to change, something that you can apply at work. And I don't just come in and do something, okay, and then that's the end of it. I love to leave my clients with something that they can use for the future.
Got it. Okay, great. So you're building this customized plan for a business. And then as a business owner, I'd of course ask, what's the return on investment? Like, what kind of results should I see in
Yes.
terms of like what's going to happen and what are the results?
Well, possibly you'll be making more money because
Okay, that's always a good
because
thing.
yeah, right. Because people will have more motivation to work with you. They
Hmm.
will have a different the workplace changes, so the people that feel more creative and productive. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, this workplace is so much fun. I know my colleagues better. We establish a deep connection. My manager, it's a fun person to be around, you know. So it's a combination of things that eventually will generate more money and more productivity for your company. And overall, it's like change the well-being, right? So which also
Mhm.
means other studies shows that like if people that laugh or have a bigger sense of humor, they don't get sick as often, right? They're healthier than other folks, right? So that
Yeah,
means also like, oh, people won't miss work as much, right? Another things that you're gonna save with money is like people won't look for work anywhere somewhere else, right? The retention, right? People will love to stay with your company or will love to work with this team, right? It's like, oh,
yeah,
if I'm in a place that's like, oh, I'm not feeling this is not fun, it's such a burden, and also I don't feel like appreciated. That's one of the reasons why people like quit their jobs, right? And they go look for someone else. And we know that that costs a lot of money to company. They're like, oh, we're losing somebody, and then now we have to go through the hiring process again, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So your work results in higher retention. As you said, you'll make more money, better connected teammates,
Mhm.
teams that like to work together, teams that may have longevity and stay longer. So that's what you do. So how's it going so far?
It's going. That's the nature of like being an entrepreneur. It's kind
Yeah.
of like it's like that, right? The joy of being an entrepreneur. Sometimes you have, you might have a lot of clients, a lot of work, and then you might have periods that are maybe kind of quiet, But I like to be involved in many different projects. And when I'm not doing workshops or team building and such, I also like to speak about it, right? So I like to
Mhm,
speak about, oh, what are the benefit or what is the power of laughter in business, right? So
mhm.
I try to combine different things, right? And yeah, I would say things are going, I'm happy like how things are going, but sometimes you get there is time of the year that you're extremely busy and time that is like maybe a little quiet. This time of year, it's maybe a little quiet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. Fantastic. So how long have you had this business for?
So I officially registered the business as under an LLC just a few years ago because,
Uh-huh.
but the business has been going on for years, right? And I also like work abroad a lot in Spain and internationally. But let's say my experience is like over as a facilitator over 10 years. The business legally has been legalized, say in what was that 2022 or something. That's
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
actually registered the LLC. I was like, okay, no, no, this is official. This is for real. Okay, let's have a name. Let's register the whole thing. Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah, there is that period where you're kind of setting up the business, seeing if there's product market fit, seeing if people will actually pay you real money for it before some people really incorporate.
Yes.
So yeah, so do you feel like you found kind of fertile ground here in Portland? Businesses are interested in what you have to offer?
Yeah, I think Portland is a great place because what we have witnessed at the OEN, right? There's a huge community of entrepreneur, lots of like very creative folks, lots of people that think different ways, let's say, right? And maybe more progressive or just a different way of seeing business as seeing things. So that resonate with kind of the things that I do, which I understand it's maybe a little bit of a niche, right? The things that I do, it's maybe different, right? Than other team building or other workshops company.
Yeah,
But
but you stand out because you're unique and different.
yes, yeah, no, I agree with you. But sometimes it could beneficial, sometimes it could be a little harder because people
Yeah,
are like, oh wait, what is that? Well, tell me more about what you do. Well, how is that going to help me? How is laughter
yeah,
going to help me? Right? Yes.
yeah. Absolutely. Well, I know there are some great studies on laughter really does help your health and help your team and does help your team to be more unified and more creative. So this is really fascinating. I'll try to link to some of those studies in the show notes. So, couple last questions, and this is I'll ask you kind of a dumb question, but I'm asking a lot of people this
Hmm.
as we move into this kind of technologically heavy era where there's a lot of AI in the world and a lot of people are thinking about AI, do you think your business can be replaced by an AI? This is an obvious question.
That's a great question. My experience, AI maybe struggles a little bit with humor,
Yeah.
or I don't know, or maybe it's just a different kind of humor. But I think that because we are going more in that direction, but there is also like a need. What I've seen is like businesses and people want to also have more a real human interaction, right?
Mhm.
Because we a lot of this is done digitally, a lot of this is done from far away, a lot of this work is on the screen. So ultimately people do want to have also I think that it's interesting because I think there are also more opportunity for like people like me or businesses that work one on one or work with a crowd. There is more because we're going more on AI. I don't know if that makes sense. Like the business going AI, but the humans wanna we still wanna have. There is a lack of connection. That's what I'm trying
Mhm.
to say. So there is a lack of a human connection. So there is a demand for that, right? Because we are going in a direction where there is maybe less real human connection. So generally speaking, some folks, not everyone, but some folks like,
Yeah.
oh, we actually want more of that. We appreciate when there is a real human being in front of me, talking to me, interacting with me, right? Where there is real emotion, right? That comes from, I don't know, just humans. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And our last question for this show is always, what do you dare to dream?
What I dare to dream? Oh, a very good question. I don't know. Just like a place where, I love, in generally speaking, like connecting with people. I would love to learn. I love to share. I just want to have, I dream of a place where there is more of that. There is more knowledge. There is more real human interaction. And there is more, I don't know, fun, laughter, not just the work, not just in business, but like in general,
Yeah.
you know with like friends, with like partner, because I think that it really makes a change.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, thank you for your time today. This has been a great discussion. Thank you. Thanks to our guests today for their insights into the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We wish you all the best in your startup journey. The Dare Show is brought to you by the Oregon Entrepreneurs Network and by Darwaf, the superpower tech team that can make your vision a reality. Visit us at oen.org or at darwaf.io. Thanks again for listening. Till next time.